Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your host, ID Jester. So, what I want to do here tonight is go through a slow play of Stratomatic Baseball. I know a good friend of the channel, PhoenixKnight. If you haven't subscribed, check out his channel. Go subscribe. He just picked up Stratomatic Baseball not too long ago, and he's comfortable enough with doing a live stream. We're going to be starting a live stream of Stratomatic. He's not super familiar with the whole game, so I just thought if I show a few things, talk about a few things, run through some plays, and do everything, that maybe he'd be a little more comfortable with it. So be sure to check out his channel. I think Saturday, I think he's going to debut Stratomatic Baseball on his channel. Make sure you go subscribe. When he does his video, go and tell him good job, or if he missed up something, let him know so that he can, going forward, he can get better on that. So, here's what I will say with PhoenixKnight is do not play basic Stratomatic. Basic Stratomatic is just boring. There's not a lot of strategy to it, and it's just the difference between basic and advanced and super advanced is not as big as they try to make it seem. There's only a couple differences between them, so don't play basic. I play, and I think a lot of players out there play a combination of between advanced and super advanced. A lot of it started with advanced and then threw some extra rules on top of it because, again, adding some super advanced rules onto it is not going to make it that much different, and it brings a lot more of the feel of baseball into Stratomatic, if I'm saying that correctly. But I would try whatever you're going to be comfortable with. I'm going to show you how I play it, which is, again, advanced with some of the super advanced rules, but not all the super advanced rules. There are some of the super advanced rules nobody really plays with, like very few people, because they're extra rules that hardly ever come into play and you're spending a lot of time. Like, for example, the one rule that I never use is robbing a home run. So there is a possibility that your outfielder can rob a home run if it's hit to the outfield. And that is a super advanced rule that, again, I don't use, so I'm not going to cover it on my channel here. You might check out Baseball Demos. He's done some tutorial videos on it, and I'm sure Sports Time Machine and a bunch of other, maybe even Tebow has done some. I know he's done some. He does mostly Apple, but he's done some Stratomatic stuff on his channel. Maybe he's talked about it. There is Stratomatic Steve. There's, Sports Time Machine. There's Sportsman Z. There's all kinds of great channels out there that cover this game. I'm not trying to say that I'm good at it or anything like that. All I know is I found a pretty good spot in what I want to do and how I can do it and keep the flow of the game. That for me is the most important thing, keeping the flow of the game going. If I have to stop what I'm doing and spend 5 minutes to try and resolve a play, I'm not a happy camper. I don't care what baseball game it is. Every baseball sim, maybe 1, maybe 2 rolls, maybe 3 maximum. But if I've got to sit down and try to calculate, and that's where Master Basic gets me, because some of those plays take 5 minutes for me to calculate up. Anyways. So, whatever baseball season you're playing with, you should have gotten a sheet like this in your box. This is going to give you your ballpark effects. This is another super advanced rule that you can use, and basically, instead of just going with some of the results that are on the card, it'll have like a little asterisk next to it, or not. It's not an asterisk. It'll have like a little symbol on the side of it, and on the side, instead of using the result that's on the card, you're going to look at whatever stadium you're playing in. And for our game, we're playing the... Who are we playing? We're playing, yes, the Philadelphia Phillies at the St. Louis Cardinals. So the Cardinals are at home, St. Louis. So I'm going to look up St. Louis's... results on my little sheet here. And let me switch the camera so you can see here. So you can see here, here's the American League and the National League. So obviously St. Louis is in the National League. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for the weather effects charts. And this will adjust based upon the month. And you can see for St. Louis, you're going to roll a 20-sided dice to see if it's good, bad, or average. And then you're going to get the splits for singles for left-handers and right-handers, and home runs for left-handers and right-handers. I know a lot of Stratomatic super advanced people use this. I don't use this because this, I think this is a great rule. It's not too complex, and you should definitely check it out. But for your first game, I would highly recommend you don't play this for your first game. Maybe once you've played a few games and you want to advance your advanced matrix. Hey, Sports Time Machine, what's going on? You're here to help me. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. So this is again, this is a tutorial video I'm doing for PhoenixKnight to kind of give him a good basis, because he's going to start Stratomatic Baseball on his channel, and I want to give him a video that he can watch so he can learn what he's doing. I'm not sure he's comfortable with it yet, so I'm trying to give him a video that makes him a little more comfortable. So this is, again, a super advanced. A lot of players use this, but in your first couple games, I wouldn't recommend you use it. So I'm not gonna cover that today. Maybe Sports Time Machine can do a tutorial specifically on this down the line. So as you see, we're playing the Phillies at the Cardinals. This is just a random game for the middle of the season. Actually, I do have to get that ready to go here. This is from May 16th, so I actually have to go to because I want to keep score and replay baseball. So it's autoplay of the week. There we go. So let me fast sim something here so I can keep track of stuff. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. PhoenixKnight hopefully is will be coming by sometime tonight. All right, what are we doing here? Autoplay week. Hang on, I have to get to the right day of when this game was May 16th. So that's the May 8th. If I autoplay a week, then autoplay a week. There we go. All right, we should be ready to rock and roll here shortly. All right, so we are going into Monday, May 16th. I'm going to game simulcast this, but you guys won't see this. This is just for me. Philadelphia at St. Louis. And here we go. All right, and there's the lineups. Okay. There we go. So as you're, what you're gonna do, PhoenixKnight, is you're getting your players out. You're going to align them based upon whatever the lineup is for that day. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at your pitcher cards. Your pitcher cards are super important. You're going to see, let me get a pen out here. Right here on each of the pitcher's cards, it tells you which pitching card they use. And in this case, it's number 6 pitching card for Jake Westbrook. So what you're going to do is you're going to find your pitcher's hitting card. You're going to find the one that says whatever number 6 or whatever it is. You're going to pull all those out and you're going to have them. And you're going to put those in the lineup, because when the pitcher comes up to bat, if you're doing the National League, you're going to have a pitcher card. You don't roll on this card. You're going to roll on their batting card. It's not like APA where you just use one card for everything. In this case, pitchers are going to have a pitching card and then they're going to have a batting card. So there's two different cards for the pitchers. Obviously, you're not going to get a name on it or anything. All you're going to do is you're going to get a number. And in this case, we have two really good hitters because it goes from 1 to 8, I believe. And Sports Time Machine can let me know if I'm wrong on that, but I think it goes from 1 to 8. You'll be working in and out, okay? So these are like the ones in these are like the ones in payoff pitch, yeah. So the most important thing is when you look at your pitcher cards and your batter is it gives you some N and W and information. And so the N means that they are normal power. So in this game, you can see whenever you're going to home run that comes off a pitcher card, it's going to be listed as N home run. N home run means that player has to have normal power. So if you look at Mitchell Boggs here, you can see that he is a number 1 guard and he's a W. W means weak. Weak means you don't get the normal home run. So if Mitchell Boggs tries to swing and gets a home run, he won't get a home run. So you have to look and see who's got weak power, who's got normal power. And that goes for every position player. You will see on the position cards, you're going to see whether they have normal power up there in their little box. You can see for Jimmy Rollins here, he has normal power. I would say a good 90% of position players have got normal power. In fact, if we look at all these normal power, actually, Wilson Valdez has actually got weak power. So you can see he's a W, so he's got weak power, so he wouldn't get a normal home run. Normal power for Raul Ibanez, he's got the N. Ryan Howard's got the N. John Mayberry's got the N, so again, normal power. These are important things you should look at. Ben Francisco's got normal power. Pete Orr's got weak power. So, and sometimes the other thing you have to look at is sometimes they'll have normal power on one side and they'll be weak on the other side. In this case, he's weak on both sides. He's weak and he's weak. Here's a great example. Carlos Ruiz is weak power against left-handers, but he has normal power against right-handers. So you can have a combination where a batter is weak on one side and strong on the other side, which means he hits those pitchers way better. All right, so when we're talking about Stratomatic here, we're talking about a D6 system that regulates whether or not the play comes off the batter card or the pitcher card. And you will see that each of these batter cards and pitcher cards have a column representing the D6 dice. There's a 1, there is a 2, there is a 3 for against left-handers. There's also a 1, a 2, and a 3 against right-handers. And then we have the pitcher, which is 4, 5, and 6 against left-handers and against right-handers. So in this case, we have Jake Westbrook, who throws right-handed. So if I was to roll a 1, 2, or 3, we can completely ignore this side of his card because it's going to come off of some information over here because he is a right-handed pitcher. So on a right-handed pitcher, if I roll a 1, 2, or 3, it's going to come off of here. And then for Jimmy Rollins, he's a switch hitter, S. So you're going to get, I should probably go through this. So you got lefties for L, you got righties for R, and then you have switch hitters for S. So in this case, switch hitters always, always, always bat the opposite side of what the pitcher throws. So the pitcher throws right-handed, so he's going to bat left. So in this case, we could ignore all of those cases, and we can ignore all of these cases. So the results is going to come off of somewhere in this matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. That's what this white die represents. Now you might have a colored die. Let's see here. So you might have a colored die. What you're going to have is you're going to have one single colored die, and you're going to have 2 regular ones. Or you're going to be fancy like me, and you're going to have one blank one and 2 colored ones. It doesn't really matter, but the single die represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. It's as simple as that. So if you roll a 4, it's coming off the 4 column. If it's a 1, it's coming off the 1 column. And then the 2d6 represent the 2 to 6 on each one of those columns. So in this case, if we rolled a 2 and we rolled a 10. So the 2 and a 10 is going to be a pop out to third base. With Stratomatic, I would say about 50% of the time you're going to get a result like that, and it's going to be done, and you won't have anything else to do. You'll be done. Weak power hitters can still hit a home run on their own hitter's card. Correct. They can't hit them off the pitcher's card, but they can hit them off their own card. Yes, true. So in this case, column 2, 10 is a pop out to third base. And again, 50 to 60% of the time, one roll, you'll be done. You'll get a result. You'll know what happens, and you'll go on to the next player. So we'll say that he pops out as an example, and then we're going to bring up the next person. And the next person is a righty versus a righty. So again, we can ignore the lefty. We can know all these left. We can ignore all the lefts. We can ignore all the lefts over here. So what the results is going to come off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And again, we simply just roll the dice and see what we get. We got a 5, so we know it's coming off the pitcher card. And we got a 7. 5 and a 7. And you can see it says a single to center field. So he hit a base hit to center field. So we got to run our first base now. So that's pretty much as simple as it goes. As simple as it goes. You're just rolling. You're looking at the single card or the single die to figure out if it comes off of column 1, 2, 3. It's the batter. 4, 5, or 6 is the pitcher, and then it's either the left-hand side or the right-hand side based upon if you're looking at the pitcher. We know Jake Westbrook is a right-hander, so it's always going to come off of the right-hand side of these cards. And then depending on the batter, it might come off of the left side for lefties, or it might come off the right-hand side for right-handers off the pitcher card. All right, so now that we have a runner on first, I'm going to show you my 20-sided dice here. So before the play resolves, you're going to roll to see if there's any kind of, what's the terminology, Sports Time Machine? You're going to roll to see if there's any, anything that happens on the base path. This includes balks, wild pitches, pass balls. So these are your walks, pass balls, and wild pitches. Okay, yep. So what I did was I took my 20-sided dice and I just highlighted the 1 and 2. If I don't roll 1 or 2 on there, I just completely ignore it. Good, it's done. Good. Now, I hadn't showed you this, but you should always roll a 20-sided dice with your D6 and your 2D6. You should always roll a 20-sided dice because a lot of times you're going to get a result like this where you're going to have, oh, it's a triple on a 1 to 8 and a single on a 9 to 20. Or you're going to get this result, which is a double on a 1 to 9 and a single on a 10 to 20. So as you roll in a 20-sided dice with your dice, a lot of times you won't need it, but at least it'll be there. So 1, 9. 1, 9 against the right-hander, 1, 9. Oh, here we go. We need it right off the bat. 1, 9 is a home run. On a 1 to 6, a triple on a 7 to 20. And that's a 17, so he hit a triple. So he hit a triple off of Jake Westbrook. All right, so let's let's say you have a runner on first base. The first thing you want to do is roll that 20-sided dice to see if anything happens. Now, I have taken the liberty of showing you here. If you look at your rule booklet on page 13, because I always get this wrong, under section 29.1. No, is that the right one? Is that the right section? Yes, I believe this is it. So if you're 20-sided dice, if you roll 1, it's a wild pitch. May occur. So you're going to look at the 20-sided dice. If you roll 1, a wild pitch may occur. So, let's say we take the 20-sided dice. We got a runner at first base, and I roll 1. What do I do, Jester? Okay? Let's say that Jake Westbrook is pitching. So, all pitchers, if you look, have their balk rating and their wild pitch rating right here in the middle of their card. So, for Jake Westbrook, he has a wild pitch of 3. Wild pitch of 3, which means he will throw a wild pitch on a 1, 2, or 3. So if I roll 1, I got to re-roll this dice, and on a 1, 2, or 3, he throws a wild pitch. He just threw a wild pitch. He just threw a wild pitch. So the runner first takes off and makes it to second base. Hey, Doug, how you doing? So that's how you do wild pitches. And for if your D20 die roll is a 2, this is a little confusing, so stay with me on this one. If your 20-sided dice is a 2, a balk or a pass ball may occur. Roll the white D6. If it comes up a 1, 2, 3, it's a balk. If it comes up a 4, 5, 6, a pass ball may occur. So, again, we roll in this die. We have a runner at first base. We roll this, and it comes up a 2. 2. Comes up a 2. That means I then roll my single die, and on a 1, 2, or 3, it comes up a 1, 2, or 3, a balk might happen. So let's say I roll it, and it comes up a 2, 1, 2, or 3, a balk. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the pitcher, and there's their balk number right there. In this case, he's a 0. So no balk. So if I would have rolled this a 2, a 2, and then I roll 1, 2, or 3, I check my balk rating. He's a 0. We can ignore it. No balk rating, and we just go into the normal play. On a 4, 5, or 6, though, it's a possible pass ball. On a 4, 5, or 6, it's a pass ball. If I roll a 2, I roll the 6-sided dice, and if it comes out a 4, 5, or 6 like that, then I look at the catcher, and in this case, the Cardinals catcher is going to be one of the best in existence, Yadier Molina. So he probably. He's got a pass ball rating right there. You can see it says pass ball -2. That means he's got a pass ball rating of 2. Pass ball rating of 2. So I just simply roll this die again on a 1 or 2. He lets the ball get by him. In this case, I rolled a 9, so it's no pass ball. And then we go right into the normal play. So that's where your 1 and 2 comes into play. When you roll this, is whenever you have somebody on base, you roll the D20 first. And if a 1 comes up, it's a passable wild pitch. You're going to look at the wild pitch rating of the pitcher. And you're going to roll the D20 again. If you roll that number or less, it's a wild pitch. If it's a 2, and then you roll a 1, a 2, or a 3, then it's a possible balk, and you're going to look at the balk rating. And if they have a balk rating, in this case, neither one of these pitchers have a balk rating. Let's see if I can find somebody that has a balk rating here. Let's see. Oh, here. Chris Carpenter's got a balk of 2. So I'd re-roll the dice. I roll 1 or 2. He's thrown a balk. And so if you're not familiar with baseball, a balk is basically where the pitcher doesn't come off the pitching rubber and tries to throw the ball to one of his fielders because someone's stealing or whatever. And you have to come off the rubber before you can do that. And that's what a balk is. And again, on a 4, 5, or 6, it's a possible patch ball. And you're going to look at each of the catchers. And you're going to find their, not him. You're going to look for their PB rating, pass ball, your PB rating. All right. So let's talk about stealing now. And I'm going to show you, before we talk about stealing, which is a big part of the game. Now let's talk about stealing first. All right. So let's see here. Give me somebody that's good at stealing. Let's see here. All right, so you can see for each of the batters, they got a steal rating. In this case, they have a C, an E. It goes A, B. Well, I'm sorry. It goes double A, B, C, D, and E. So E's the worst. E's are really bad, terrible. B's are not bad. C's are average. And A's or A pluses or triple A's are really good. Those are the guys you normally want to try to steal with. But that doesn't look like they have any ones. But we'll use Wilson Valdez as an example. So Wilson Valdez has hit his single. He's on first base. So we have a runner on first. We roll the D20 to find out if there's any kind of pass ball or anything. There isn't, because I didn't roll 1 or 2. So now the defender player needs to decide if they're going to try to steal. And this is what I would recommend you do, is use this. Rollins, do you think Rollins is good? He's not in the lineup today, is he? Let me look. Yeah, he's not in the lineup, but he is a good stealer. Yeah. All right. So we'll use Jimmy Rollins as an example. He's not in the lineup today. But he's an A stealer. So he's pretty good. All right. So this is a super advanced stealing mechanism. And this super advanced stealing is very easy. It's not hard at all. You can take the A and go on a chart and roll on the chart and this, that, and the other thing. I don't like that. I like using this super advanced. And the super advanced is right here next to it. So what happens here is I'm going to maybe bring the camera in nice and tight and close here so we can look at this. All right. So stealing A. You have these numbers here, 2 to 5 and a 12 before the slash. So that means if I roll a 2 to 5 or a 12, he's going to get a good jump. And when he gets a good jump, he gets this rating to try to steal. He gets a 19. So if I roll a 2 to 5 and a 12, he gets a 19. If I roll a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11, which is not one of these numbers, then he just only gets a 13. So you can see a big difference between these two results. So he wants to try to get the jump so he can get a 19 chance out of 20 to succeed in his steal, which is really, really good. Now we're gonna go through the pluses and minuses in a minute. Don't worry about that. What you're concentrating on is you look at your steal rating and you say that this guy's an A. More than likely, he's going to try to steal if he can. If second base is open, more than likely, he's going to try to steal. If we look at his stolen bases for the season, he had 30 stolen bases, which is a lot. He was caught 8 times, so he's pretty good. So you know he's going to try to steal whenever he can. So what I'm going to do is, first thing is I'm going to roll the D20 to make sure there's no 1 or 2 that comes up. That comes first. Second thing, we're going to check to see if he steals, if he can get the jump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll 2d6, and I'm just going to look to see if he gets a jump. He got a 10. So for Jimmy Rollins, he wants 2 to 5 and a 12. So he did not get a good jump. He got a 10. He can still steal, but he's got to use this number instead of this number. Now I'm going to show you how you calculate the final results. This is based on a D20 dice. So obviously, you're going to get a number between 1 and 20. So if you have a 19 chance out of 100 or out of 20 to get there, you're going to get 95%. But that's not what happens. So the defensive team, the team pitching, in this case St. Louis, they have to decide if they're going to hold the runners or not. If they hold the runners, if they decide to hold the runner, that runner gets a -2 right off the bat. Just right off the bat, he gets a -2. So even if Jimmy Rollins gets the jump, he's going to go from a 19 -2, he's going to be a 17. Because he's being held closer at first base. So -2 if they hold him. So the defensive team, St. Louis, needs to decide if they're going to hold him. Always, 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 always hold everyone except for the E base stealers. E base stealers they're not going to steal. And I wouldn't recommend you hold anyone except for E's. A's, you always, always, always want to hold A's. Just you'll learn that very quickly. So 19 -2, he's going to be a 17. But we're not done calculating. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the pitcher's card, and we're going to look at his hold rating. And his hold rating is a 0. So no adjustment. He's not good, he's not bad. And I think these numbers are 0 to 5, I think. It goes from 0 to 5 on the hold numbers. But we're not done yet. You have to also take into consideration the catcher's throwing arm. How fast is he at throwing out the runner? And so I'm going to look at St. Louis's catcher, Yadier Molina. Now, I should mention Yadier Molina is super, super, super good. He's really, really good. He's probably a Hall of Famer. So he's going to have a really good standing. Not all the catchers will have awesome ratings like this. But you can see I believe it's the minus, is it the -3? I think it's the -3. Is the roll for the jump on the same die roll as the wild pitch? No, it's you're rolling a 2d6 for the jump. When you're rolling to see if it's a wild pitch, that's a d20. It's the different dice rolls. You're going to roll this. You're going to go, nope, nothing there. Are you going to try to steal? Yes or no? Yes. Boom. You're going to put these in. Oh, look, he got a 2. He can try to steal. Yeah, -3 arm. Yeah, that's what I thought. So you're going to look for this number right here in the bracket. That tells you what his rating is to throw out runners. In this case, the Yadier Molina is a -3. So you take the runner, You take his number, whether he gets the jump or doesn't get the jump. You subtract 2 if he's being held, which more than likely he's going to be held. Then you're going to subtract the pitcher, which is 0, and you're going to subtract the catcher, which is -3 in this case. So he's going to be a total of -5. So 19 minus 5 is going to be 14. So he's going to be a 1 to 14. He'll be safe. 15 or higher, he'll be out. So you can see if he doesn't get the jump, he's a 13. Minus 5 is a 1 to 8. So more than likely, when they don't get the jump, you don't try to steal. You can still try to steal if you want to. But most of the time, it's going to be a little bit rougher to get that jump, though. So we're going to try a real example now with real dice rolls. All right. Jimmy Rollins just got a base hit. He's on first base. So Jimmy Rollins is on first. So what do I do? First thing I'm going to do, I have a base runner. So I check. Boom. Is there any action on the base pass? No. So there's no pass ball. There's no balk. There's no wild pitch. All right. Next thing is, defensive team needs to say whether they're holding the runner or not. Again, 95% of the runners you're definitely going to run. You're going to hold. The only ones you're going to not hold are the ones that are E. The ones that are E, you don't need to hold them. Because look, the chance of him getting a good lead is a 2. That's all. So you don't need to worry about holding him. He's probably not going to get the lead. So, are you going to hold him? Yes. So he's a -2 right off the bat. Are you going to jump? Are you going to try to steal? Yes. The offensive team says yes. So now you just get 2d6. You roll him. He rolls a 3, 4, 5. There you go. So he's got the jump. He's a 19. 19. -2 for being held. He's down to 17. He gets -0 for the pitcher. He gets -3 for Molina. Means he's a 14. So 1 to 14, he's safe. Anything else? He's out. And we rolled a 2. And this is a good point, is the catcher can actually throw an error here. He can actually throw the ball away. If he doesn't get a good lead, it's -4 when he's hold. All right. So the catcher, if you try to steal on the catcher, he can throw. He has a throwing rating. Anytime you roll a 1 or 2, again, you look at the catcher to see if he's got a throwing error. In this case, he's got to throw 1 to 10. So he will have a throwing error on a 1 to 10. Throwing 1 to 10. He will have a throwing error on a 1 to 10. So we roll this again to see if he rolls. He rolled a 20, so no error. Bad throw, but Jimmy Rollins steals second base. Jimmy Rollins steals second base. Now I will say, again, this. Of all the things you're going to do in Stratomatic, the 2 most difficult things are base stealing and the next thing we're going to cover, and that is error checks and range checks. Those are the 2, I guess, kind of difficult things. And I'm going to go over them. Again, the advanced and the super advanced, I would highly recommend you just jump right to super advanced because they make the most sense. They're not that difficult. Once you do them a couple times, you'll catch on no problem. And you'll be fine once you do them a couple times. Okay, so the next thing is range plays and error plays. I know you play a lot of payoff pitch, and you have the defensive roll, and then you're going to roll to find out if it's an error, or you're going to roll to see if it's a a range play. In Stratomatic, we'll show you here on the card. Anytime you get a result like this, let's see if I can find one here. All right, here we go. So you're going to see these X results. So like right here, you're going to see ground ball, second base, X. Ground ball, second base, X. Or ground ball, pitcher, X. Or ground ball, shortstop, X. Fly ball, right field, X. Fly ball, right field, X. Fly ball, center field, X. Catcher, X. Anything that ends in an X is going to be an error and a range check at the same time. So you always check for errors and range plays at the same time. So let's roll results here. Let's see if I can randomly roll 3-6. Nope, that's a walk. So 3-6 is a walk. He goes down to first base. Boom, boom, boom. Then he's going to try to steal. Right? He's going to try to steal. We have to roll to see if there's any action. There is no action. Is he going to try to steal? Yes, he's going to try to steal. 6, he got the jump. No, 2-5, he did not get the jump. So Jimmy Rollins at first base is not going to go anywhere. And he's just going to stay there. All right, next up, Wilson Valdez. Wilson Valdez, is there anything on the base pass? No. Let's see what he does. He rolls a 3-9, 3-9. Ground ball, second base, C. Okay, so here it comes. Here it comes like one of the most important charts that you need to know in Stratomatic is this chart right here on page 17 of your rule booklet is the ground ball result chart. A, B, and C. And that is the terminology you will see pretty much everywhere throughout the rule booklet. A, B, and C. A results are going to be your double plays. B results are going to be your fielder's choice out at second. And your C results are going to be plays where they're going to have to throw it to first base to get the out. Because you can see here, we have a runner at first base. And we had a ground ball C, which is play number 3. Play number 3 is batter out, runner advances one base. So C's are slow dribblers. They're slow balls hit. And the only play is to first base. Your A's, right? Your A results are going to be your double plays. Your B results are they try for a double play. They throw it to second. They can't get the runner out at first. All right. So Valdez, he grounded out. And Jimmy Rollins goes to second base now. So Jimmy Rollins is at second base. All right. So Rollins is at second base. We check to see if there's any activity on the base pass. No, there is not. It's Raul Ibanez up. And hopefully I can get an X result here. It is a 6-5. He is a left-hander. 6-5. Here we go. It's a ground ball, shortstop X. 6-5. I knew it wouldn't take you long. You're going to have to learn how to do these plays. You're going to have to learn how to do these plays because you're going to see X results everywhere, all over the place. So let's get to it. So this is an X result to the shortstop. The shortstop for us actually is right here on top, Ryan Terrio, which is going to make it very convenient because I won't need to go find his card. It's going to give me all the information that I need to know. All right, so Ryan Terrio. Shortstop is his position right today. He is a defense of 4, and he has an error rating of 33. Higher numbers are bad, by the way. Your ranges are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think they go up to 5. And the worst is 5. The best is 1. 2s are pretty good. 3s are average. 4s are not so good. 5s are terrible. And your error number is going to be, the higher the number, the worse it is. So, let's look at the charts. Now, your charts are going to look different than my charts, but you're going to find your blue page, the light blue page, and you're going to find the one, and you're going to look for the section here that has your infield positions, second base, first base, third base, shortstop. And you're going to take all of their dice. You're going to take your 20-sided dice, and you're going to take your 6-sided dice. This is basically whether or not the fielder gets to the ball, or if it gets by him for a single, a double, or, if it's an outfielder, maybe it's hit over his head and he can't get to it or whatever. So this is your range. If you're used to payoff pitch, this is your range. And then this is your error check. This is your error check. So you got a range and an error check all happening at the same time. And so we know that Ryan Terrio is really bad at defense. He has a 4. So we're going to look at the X range chart 4. And we're going to roll the 20-sided dice. And we're going to look to see what the result is. You rolled an 11. So you simply go down the column, 4 and 11. 4 and 11 is a G3. And you're going to find that G3 is a, I think it's a, I don't have that, hang on. Where's the rest of my charts? I got to get the rest of my charts. It's my rest of my charts here. It's on the back. Maybe it's behind. Nope, that's not it. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, hang on. Make sure here. Alright, there's all the rest of my charts. Alright, so we're going to find the G3 result. So the G3 is going to tell us what happens. G3, runner is at second base. So, in this case, it says infield's normal. It went right, or it says the result is a right. So we look at the right, and right is basically going to say if the ball was hit to first base or second base, the batter is out and the runner advances. Ball hits to shortstop, pitcher, or catcher. You can decide. You can go to the decide section and go through that process. Basically, was the ball hit to the left side or was the ball hit to the right side is what we're determining here with this G3 result. Okay? The other thing you got to do is, again, get rid of all this other stuff. We also need to roll these 3 and look at his error check to find out if he makes an error. Just because he gets the ball doesn't mean he didn't make an error, throw it away, or whatever. So he's an E33. At shortstop, you can see it goes from 0 all the way up to 88. But not every number is used, as you can see. It goes 30, 31, 32, 34, 35, 38, 40, 42, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60. So as you start going up. And what you're doing is you're going to roll these 3 and add them together. And you're simply going to see I got an 11, and I'm going to look at 33 and see if an 11 is there. 33 is a 5, a 13, a 15, and an 18. I rolled an 11, so he didn't make an error, and he made a G3. So runner in second is going to move up to third, and he's going to throw the ball out to first base. So you're going to need to do these X results all the time, probably 20 times a game. So again, it's just simply, you can roll all these together, is you roll this and look on the chart to see, can he get to the ball? If he gets to the ball, can he get the runner out at first, out at second? What can he do with it? And that's all on this chart. And then the next thing is roll to see if he made an error. So again, if the ball was hit to Ryan Terrio, he rolled a 7, 4 and a 7 is going to be a G3 with a pound sign. The pound sign represents whether or not the player was in charge of holding a runner on the base, and et cetera, et cetera. You can read the information there. But a 7 is going to still be a G3. And in this case, it's an 11, 12, 13. Now remember, 13 was on there. If we look, 13 is an E1. 33 and 13 is an E1. So you can go to your chart and read what it says on E1, but basically that means it's a one base error. So he got to it and then throws it wide of first base, and so the runner that was on second goes to third, and the runner that was the batter is going to make it to first base because of one base error. All right. So that is X results. You're going to need to do that. Same thing for your fielder or your outfield, except for there's a special column for the center fielder, and then there's one for the left or right fielder. So we'll say it was hit to left field. And who's in left field today for the Cardinals? Matt Holliday. So let's look at Matt Holliday here. There's Matt Holliday. So Matt Holliday is a 3. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. He's average. He's a 3. And he's only an E4, so very low number. So he doesn't make a lot of errors, which is good. He's a range of 3. Can he get to the ball? And then how many errors he makes? E4. So we're going to look at this chart here. Oh, actually, we're going to look at this chart first to find out, does he get to the ball? A 9. He's a 3 and a 9. A 3 and a 9 is an F2. F2 is a catch. And then let's find out if he makes an error. He's in left field. He's a 4. And I rolled a 16. There's a 5, a 4, a 3, a 15, and an 18. There is no 16. So no error. He's going to make the play. Look at Matt Holliday go. I cannot believe I rolled a 16 and almost, wow. Usually bad is bad. Normally when you roll bad, high numbers, 18 is almost always an error. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Any of those numbers are usually pretty bad. You want to stay away from those numbers. So that's how you do that. And then the third chart is going to be your catcher X. It's going to have your pitchers and your catchers on here. So same thing. Let's say it was a ground ball back to Jake Westbrook. So Jake Westbrook is he is a balk wild pitch. He is a is it on the pitcher card? Is it on the pitcher card? Must be on the pitcher card, huh? Must be on the pitcher card. Oh, no. It's pitcher, he's a 2. Right, there it is. Right there in front of my face. And he's E16. So he's an error in 16, and he's got a range of 2, pitcher 2, and this is how many innings he can pitch over there. Would have been easier if they would have separated this, but that's not what Stratomatic did, unfortunately. So he's a 2E16, and that's what you'll hear as terminology. He'll be a 2E16, which means he's got a range of 2, an error of 16. And so we're going to simply look at our pitcher. He's a pitcher column 2. And I rolled a 4. 2 and a 4. It's going to be a G3. He's going to make it. He's going to get to it. He can get the runner out at first. And let's see if he makes an error. 9, 10, 11. He was a, what was he? E16. E16. 5, 4, 9, 12, 16, and 17 are all errors. He rolled a 11, so just missed it. No error. If he was an E17, he would have been error, but an E16 he's fine. He made the play. He gets a runner out at first. So your 3 different error checks are going to be using those all the time. All right, so let's do an inning or 2 here. And get you the flow of the game and show you how things should flow pretty easily. And maybe we'll come across something I hadn't talked about. All right, so we got, well, first of all, I got to get the right batting order again because I messed it all up. If you have any questions, let me know. So it's actually Jimmy Rollins. How is Jimmy Rollins? Okay, Jimmy Rollins. I don't know how I didn't have him in my lineup, but he is actually in this game. Okay, so it is Jimmy Rollins against Jake Westbrook. Again, nobody's on, so I don't need to roll the 20-sided dice ahead of time. I can just roll it in with my regular dice. Here we go. So it's a top of the first. Here we go. It's a 1-6. 1-6 is going to be a base hit single. Here we go. So he got a single. He goes to first base. He's going to try to get the jump in a second here. 19, so we don't have any activity on the base pass. Are you going to hold me? Yes, I'm going to hold you. Do you want to try to steal? Yes, I'm going to try to steal. I rolled a 4. I'm going to try to steal. And we already calculated it, but we'll calculate it again. He's a 19. -0. -2 for being held. And -3 for Molina. So that's -5. He's at 1 to 14. He's safe. He rolled a 7. He's got a stolen base. So you can see, just by learning the things that you know now, the game flows pretty good. He's already on second base. That's not good. Now we have Valdez up. I don't know how these got all out of alignment here. Wilson Valdez. Here we go. Valdez is up. So Wilson Valdez, runner at second, nobody out. And we'll roll, see if there's anything going on. 3, close, but no cigar. That is a 1-4. 1-4 is a fly ball right field B ? Right field to right, fly ball right field B ? So it's going to be an out to Craig in right field. The B ? The B ? is going to, if you look at your little chart here in the back of the rule booklet again, your B ? is going to say, if you have a runner, I believe it's a runner on third base, can advance on a fly ball if they're on third base. And I'm just looking to find out where that is so I can show you. Here, fly ball, B ? Medium fly ball, possible sacrifice fly. And so if you look at the rule there, basically if you have a runner on third base, they can try to tag up and come home if they want to try to do that. Yes, every time you got a new batter up, you got to roll the D20. Yes. So it's a fly ball out to Craig in right field. And he's just going to catch it for the out, F9. And the runner is not going to do anything because he's on second base. So it's just simply an out. So we have one out, runner at second. And it's Raul Ibanez up. And 16, so nothing on the base pass. Raul Ibanez. 5-10. He's a left-hander. 5-10. Ground ball first base B. Remember, A, B, and C. That most of the time it matters, but in this case with the runner at second, it's not going to matter. It's a ground ball down to first base. So the runner at second makes it over to third base. No problem. So it's going to be a ground ball, first base, and if there was a runner on first, he would throw him out at second for the out. But in this case, he's going to take it to the bag because there is no one on first. So our runner is going to move it over to third base now. And it's going to bring up Ryan Howard with 2 outs. Cardinals trying to get out of this inning. 16, so nothing on the base paths. Here we go. And just like in inside pitch, anytime you have a runner on third base, you need to declare if you're going to play anyone in or not. So there's either in Stratomatic, it's either in or normal. There's no double play depth or anything like that. It's either in or normal. So with 2 outs, I'm just going to play everyone normal. And we got a 3-10 versus a right-hander 3-10. It's a hit, Will! It's going back! It's going! It is gone! See you later. You notice that this home run doesn't say like normal home run like this one here. You see how this one says normal home run? That's when you check to see if the batter has normal power or not. But if it just says home run, it doesn't matter what this says. It says home run. It's a home run. So he hit a home run and kaboom! It's going, gone. 2-run home run. Now it's John Mayberry, and now I don't have to roll this because I don't have anyone on base. So, like, there is no pass balls or balks or anything when no one's on base. Yes. Is there adjustment for stealing third or home? Yes. Good question. That is a excellent question, my friend. Yes, there is, as a matter of fact. I believe. All right, here we go. This is going to be page 10 of your rule booklet. Stealing third base. To steal third base, the runner is going to adjust his second steal rating success. So if he is being held on base, deduct 4 from his rating as well as the catcher and the pitcher effect. So as an example, if you have a 19 and a 14 stealer and he has a pitcher with a +1 and a catcher with a -2, he would have a success rating of 9. Because he always use your second rating when you try. So in this case, we talked about 19 and 13. To steal third base or home, you always have to use your second rating. You only use your first rating if you're stealing second base. And if you're stealing home, you deduct 9 from your second stealing success rating. I don't steal that often for third or home. It's pretty rough, as you can see. We get a -4, and that's from your second rating. And then for stealing home, it's a -9. And if you're being held, it's an additional -4. So stealing home is pretty hard. I think that's pretty difficult. All right, so let's get you another batter here and see what he can do. 2-9, 2-9. It's a 1-3 triple. 16 is going to be a double. So 2-out double by John Mayberry, and the inning continues. We go on. We now have to roll the D20 because I have a runner on base. Nothing going on there. All this happening with 2 outs. Come on, Cardinals, let's go. 5-6. He's a right-hander. 5-6 is going to be 1-8 triple. So this is a good rule to know. This is super good to know. You can see I just rolled a 5-6 against a right-hander. So 5-6 against a right-hander says he's got a triple on a 1-8. He's got a single on a 9-20. But you see those 2 stars? That means anyone that's on base gets to move 2 bases. When there's 2 stars, you get 2 bases. If there's 1 star, you get 1 base. So in this case, everyone on base is going to get he's going to get a single, but everyone on base is going to get to run 2 bases on a 9-20, which it was. And so the runner in second is going to come around to score on the base hit single by Ben Francisco. So another 2-out hit. We have a runner at first again, Ben Francisco. He's a C rater. He's a C. Can he steal? He's got a 15. If he gets a jump on a 2-6 or a 12, he'll get the jump. So we got to see if there's any activity on the base path. There is not. Then are you going to hold me? Yes, we're going to hold you. Are you going to try to steal? I'm going to see. And he rolls a 4. So he can try to get the jump. He's going to try and get the jump. Why not? 15, -0, -2 for being held. Is a 13, -3 for Molina. He's a 1-10. He's got a 50-50 shot. 1-10, he's in there. 13, no, he's thrown out. Get out of here, Molina says. Don't try to steal on me, punk. Don't try to steal on me. And he's out. All right. So after a half an inning, the Phillies up 3-0 on the Cardinals. So now we see, so we're going to look at Cliff Lee here, right? I can see he's a lefty, so we're going to always be looking on the left-hand side over here, right? I can see he's a balk of 0, so he doesn't balk, and he doesn't throw any wild pitches. He's pretty good on that. He's a hold of -1, and the catcher today is Carlos Ruiz. So I'm going to look at Carlos Ruiz. He is a -1 as well. So the pitcher's a -1. He's a -1, so it's a -2. So they're pretty good. And holding somebody's a -2, so it's a -4. That's not too bad. All right, what else do we know about Cliff Lee? Right, so you can see these things. We can see he is a 2 with his range, pretty good. Again, 1 is the best. 2 is pretty good, not bad. And he's an E6, so that's a pretty low number. That's pretty good. Doesn't make too many errors. And then he's a starter of 7, which means he can go, and then when he starts his 7th inning, he will start taking strike 1, strike 2, and strike 3. And when he gives up his 3rd strike, he's then considered tired. So once he hits the 7th inning and he lets a walk, a base hit, hits somebody with the pitch or whatever, and if somebody gets on base, it counts against him. And when he has 3 strikes against him, he's out. He's not out. He can stand as long as he wants, but he's tired, which means some of these results could change on his card. I would recommend any pitcher that's tired, immediately pull him and put a new pitcher in there, for the love of God. Yes and no. You do have it right, but you're also incorrect. You can use this front rating here, right? In this case, Peter is a 5, right? And if he's trying to steal and he gets a jump, the only time you use this first number is when he successfully gets a jump and you're trying to steal second base. Anything else, and you use the second number. So if he's trying to steal second base and he gets a good jump, then he's going to use this. If he's trying to steal second base and doesn't get a jump, he's going to use this. If he's trying to steal third base, he's going to use this. But yes, you have it pretty correct. You have it pretty correct. But you can kind of see the pitchers, now that you can see, oh, this guy doesn't have any bulk ratings. That's pretty good. If I roll any wild pitches, I can just ignore those. I'm throwing from the left-hand side, so I'm going to be looking over here. So let's see if let's do some Cardinals here and see how they do. 4-8. He's a right-hander. So 4-8 is going to be a strikeout. And you will see on this strikeout, it's got a little dot after it. Which means if he was tired, which we just talked about, he gives up a single instead. So I think I'm pretty sure it's a little symbol, if I'm not mistaken. He gives up a single if he's tired instead of a strikeout. But in this case, that's a strikeout because he's not tired. All right. Lance Berkman's up. 1-9, lefty, 1-9, and that is a strikeout. Notice this one does not have the little dots on it. 1-9. But it's still a strikeout, so it's still a strikeout. Alan Craig is up. 2 up, 2 down. Wait a minute. He is not up. It's actually Albert Pujols. Oh, you know what? Berkman shouldn't have been up. Let me undo that last play. Should have been John Jay. Should have been John Jay. These guys got all moved out of order because I was trying to show you different player cards. So we'll give you John Jay with 1 out. 6-9 lefty. 6-9 is a strikeout, so it didn't matter. It's still a strikeout. And then we got Albert Pujols. 3-6 right-hander. Left-hander. 3-6 pop out to short. So you can see that's just a pop out, no X result, just a pop out to short. Pop out to short. So, okay. And the Cardinals go down 1, 2, 3. That was kind of bad. Let's go to the top of the second. Pete Orr is up against Jake Westbrook. 4-7. He's a left-hander. 4-7, and he's going to walk him. He walked him. And now we have a runner on base, so now we got to roll. Is he going to go anywhere? Probably not. Let's look at. He's a B stealer. You know what? He might try to get the jump. He needs a 5. So we're going to hold him. He rolled an 8, so he doesn't get a good jump. He can still go. But he's 11. Minus 5 would take him to a 1-6 on the 20-sider. I don't think he wants to try and steal for that. So he's just going to stay on base. So 2-9. He's a right-hander 2-9, and that is a ground. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is crazy. 2-4 is a home run. 2-5 is a double. 2-6 is a single. 2-7 is a single. 2-8 is a single. 2-9 is a ground ball. Pitcher B. So again, pitcher B, what do you think that result is? We have a runner at first base. We have a runner at first. So it's going to be just a 1-4 put out at second base. Now we have the pitcher card. Again, 1, 2, and 3, just like normal. Cliff Lee is a... Oh, I forgot to tell you. I didn't give you the rest of this. We talked about the N, but this shows that he's a left-hander. So he's a normal left. Wait, Jake Westbrook is a normal right. So he's going to be a lefty. So Jake Westbrook is going to come off his left side. Oh wait, I gotta roll because we have someone on first. Nothing going on. 1-4. 1-4. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. And there we go. We go back to the top. 2 outs now with 2 on. I'm sorry, 1 on. Jimmy Rollins. Oh, hang on a minute. 1. We have a runner first. Nothing going on. Jimmy Rollins. 1-10. Lined it right at the shortstop. Lined it right at the shortstop. So out. And the Cardinals are coming up in the bottom of the second. So you can see there's a good flow when you know what you're doing. We're playing super advanced, but yet we're getting through this very quickly. There's no super long delays or anything like that. So it's Alan Craig. No, it's going to be Matt Holliday up first. These are all out of a whack because I messed them up. All right, Matt Holliday's up. Let's go, Matty. Let's go. 6'10". He's a right-hander. 6'10". Ground ball, third base, X. Third base, X. So third baseman is Valdez. Here's his card right here. So we're going to be checking a range and an error on this guy right here. At third base, he is a 2. And E23. So we're going to pull out this chart here. He's a 2, E23. So he's at third base. So we look at the third base column over here. A 12. And a 2 and a 12 is a G1. G1s are double play if there's somebody on. But he's going to get to it. We know that. Now, can he make an error for us? That would be awesome. He's a 23. So we're on this column right there. 4, 5, 6, 7. No 7. Again, low numbers are usually pretty good. Except for 5. You will notice 5 on every one of these columns is a rare play. 5 is a rare play. Anytime you roll a 5, it's probably going to be a rare play. But in this case, it's going to be a ground ball down to Valdez. 5-3 put out. No problem. Easy peasy. You're going to see that in all the time. Get used to it. You're going to see that all the time. Lance Berkman up. My confusion comes in when a range play comes in and determining his point of weakness. Okay, so confusion comes in when a range play comes in. So range plays, very simple. Range plays are you're gonna find the rating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the, and you're just gonna roll to see what it is. And whether it's a G1, G2, or G3, it's going to be an out. It's just who does he get out? It's either going to be the runner first, the runner second, the runner third. Oh, I see. Relief pitcher. Oh, I got you. Relief pitchers. Let's see. Do we can? Well, I like to think of it as the 3 strikes and you're out model, right? So I am not going to be an expert at that, to be honest. So I don't even want to kind of explain it, because I will more than happy. All right, a pitcher uses it. Okay, so pitcher does not have a pitcher used the maximum number an inning a relief pitcher can pitch without fatigue is point of weakness inning plus 2. Relief pitchers cannot use more than 2 straight days. So it's pretty much most relief pitchers are going to be so it's going to be the same thing. You're going to find it looks like it's going to be pretty much the same thing. So like you're going to find their, let's see if I can find, let's see here. Trevor Miller here. He's a relief pitcher. So Trevor Miller here has got a 1. So he's going to be able to, basically, as first inning he pitches, if he gives up 3 hits, 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 he's going to be tired. And I think that goes for pretty much all. I'm not going to say every relief pitcher, but most relief pitchers are either 1 or 2 innings. I'm sure there's some other rules that probably apply, but I think the main thing is for me, the way I always think about it is strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Every time they give up a base hit, a walk, or hit by a hit batter, they will have 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, then they're tired. And hopefully that makes somewhat of a sense. Lance Berkman up. He's a switch hitter. He's a left, so he's going to come from the right-hand side. That is a 5'11". Coming from the right, 5'11". All right, he's going to right field X. Right field X is Francisco. Where's Ben Francisco? There he is. Ben Francisco is a 3E8. 3E8. So he's a 3E8. So again, right field, he's a 3 and a 20, which is great, and an E8. And he rolled 3, 4, 5, 6. There is no, oh, there is a 6. Actually, there is a 6 right there. Look at that. E8 is a 6. That's an E2. That's a 2-base error. So, congratulations. 2-base error on Ben Francisco. And Berkman makes it all the way to second. Woohoo! All right. Same thing. Got a runner. It's on. We're going to do that. 1-8. He's a lefty, 1-8, and that's a fly ball left field. And PhoenixKnight, just so you know, I'm using replay, and I'm not getting any errors because I didn't do that P results. I haven't used any P results yet. So I'm watching what I'm doing here. Yadier Molina. We have a runner at second. Come on, 2 outs. 18-0. Yadier Molina. 1-7 lefty. 1-7 is a ground ball. Shortstop A. So that would be a double play, but if there was a runner in first, there is no runner in first, so it doesn't really matter. It's still going to be a 6-3 putout. And there you go. So you can see things go pretty quickly. Things go pretty quickly. You can keep the flow going. Here's what I would recommend. Here's what I would absolutely positively recommend for you, my friend. I would highly recommend that you take all your ratings for your players in their positions they're playing and write them down on a lineup sheet. Because otherwise you're going to be going through, every time you got an X result, you're going to have to flip through and find the player and find what his rating is. So you're going to need to know his range and his error number. 2E10. Just write in 2E10. Otherwise, like I said, you're going to run into problems with having to shuffle through the cards, just like season ticket. And you know how much I hate it with season ticket. There's a lot of times you can get 2, 3, 4 X results in a row, and it's, oh my God, it slows down the game. When you got to look at the players, find out their range, find out their error numbers. If you just know those numbers right off the top of your head, you're golden. Oh, that's true. You do, right. Yeah, sure. Okay. That would probably make it much easier. But again, you're still going to be, that'll probably work fine if you do tableau style. And so you have all the cards out and you can just look at them. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of upsetting, but I'll see if I can. I really haven't had a chance to deal with it this week. We had a leak start in our house. We've had workers in our house. We've had the living room flooded this week. I'm trying to sell things online, and it's just, I haven't had a chance to even deal with that situation yet. What else can I think of? X results. Get your, what I do is I just have my 3 sheets up. Anytime I want, I can just look at them. X results and stealing. Again, you're not going to be stealing that often. It's not like you steal 50 times a game. You just got to remember when you have someone on first and second base is open, you got to remember, oh, will this guy try to steal? Yes or no? I mean, a lot of times you'll already have somebody on second and they won't steal. Nobody hardly ever steals third base in this game, and nobody hardly ever steals home because it's so punishing. It's so punishing. You need to be really, 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 really good. You'll know somebody that can steal third base because their second number will be really high. You have like an 18/17. And you'll be like, oh, that guy can steal third base or he can steal home because his second number is really high. Now that you've seen these things, you can start picking up on them and go, oh, it's an 18/17. He's a really good stealer, and he's also can steal third base or home. So when you're looking at your cards, getting them out on the table and getting ready for the game, you can kind of glance at them and see, like, this guy here is a 15/7. He's terrible unless he gets the jump. This guy is a 26. He's terrible unless he gets a jump. He's a 26. He's terrible unless he gets the jump. 17/12. Again, okay. 15, 17. He's a 2011. He's a 2016. So I can pretty much see none of the Phillies stole third base or stole home because they don't have any of the ratings that are high enough to do that, to make it even viable. I mean, sure, anyone could try. They might have a 1 in 20 chance. But, you know, you can always steal. So that's the one rule I do like in this game is even if you don't get a jump, you can still steal. There's a lot of games like Season Ticket and APA or whatever, and if you don't get the jump, you can't steal. So I don't like that because it limits the players' choices. Like in Stratomatic, at least you have a choice. All right, I don't get the jump, but I can still go. Which, you know, a lot of times it'll come down to I need to steal second base. And if you don't get the jump, then you're like, well, I'm screwed now. Hey, Philip, how you doing? I'm trying to think of anything else. Again, as far as if you missed the beginning, I did weather and ballpark single and home runs. For your first couple games, I wouldn't recommend using these. These are not hard rules at all. It's just, do you want to take the complexity and the time to do it? You can, sure, if you want to. I don't normally use these. It just changed some of the results in the cards. Instead of reading the card results, you go to your little chart and figure out what's a base hit to the left, or you know, what's for St. Louis. This is a This is a May game. So I'd roll for the weather and find out if it's good, average, or bad. And that would tell me on a single 1 to 7 for left-handers and 1 to 8 for right-handers. So I can look at the chart and go, okay. So it kind of brings the ballpark into play. I know you like ballparks. So you might want to look at the weather chart. You should have this chart in your box. These rules are not super hard. It's just an extra complexity that I don't usually deal with. But if you want to add in ballpark ratings, making the ballpark important, feel free to use it. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, there will be times where you'll have a runner at second base and you'll get a single and it won't have 1 star and it won't have 2 stars. What that means is, obviously on a single, each runner gets 1 base. You can take an extra base if you go through the run procedure. So you can try to make it an extra base. If you get a result that has 1 star, you can only ever take 1 star. So if there's a runner at second and you get a base hit, a single with 1 star, the runner from second will only go to third. He cannot go home. He can't take an extra base. He can't do anything. If you get 2 stars, he always goes 2 bases. If you get 1 star, you only go 1 base. So, the times that you don't get the stars is when you get to decide. So if I get a single, the runner in second can go to third, and then what you have to do is calculate the runner's speed. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at the runner's rating in the top right-hand corner. Each runner has a rating. So in this case, Wilson Valdez is a run of 1 to 13. Then you're going to subtract the arm of the outfielder. Let's say it goes to left field. It's Matt Holliday. And Matt Holliday is a +1. So it's actually going to add 1. You guys can't see that because I don't have the right camera on. There we go. So in your outfielders, on their positions, it's going to give you a range number. It's going to give you their arm rating and then their error. This is for outfield. So you can see John Jay is a 3 E4, but he's also +1. So these are things you want when you're looking at or writing down your stat line, you always write down 3 plus 1 E4. In right field, he's a 3 E4. So run ratings, and then if there's 2 outs, you get to add, if the runner is not being held, you add 1 to his run rating. I'm sorry. Hang on a second. If there's 2 outs, you get to add 2 to the run rating. And then if he's not being held, you get to add 1. If he is being held, you subtract 1, I believe is the rule on that. Let's look. Let me look. Stealing. Right. Where is taking an extra base here? Taking an extra base. Taking an extra base. It's got to be in here somewhere. Oh, you'll see this result every once in a while too. Lomax. Once in a while you'll see it on a player's card. See if I can find a player that has one on it. It's usually on the 2 line or I think it's normally on the 2 line. Here we go. Line out second base max. That means he lines it to the second baseman, and there's 1 out, 2 outs, 3 outs, whatever. It's the maximum number of outs they can get. So if you have a runner at first and second, and he lines out, he's going to line him out and get the runner out at second and the runner out at first, so it'll be a triple play. So anytime you see line out max, that means they try to get out the maximum number of... Now, obviously, if you don't have anyone on, he just lines out to second, and that's it. But if there's, let's say the bases are loaded and he lines out, he's going to get a triple play. Line out max. All right, I think I've covered about everything I think it's better for him to try it, see what issues he runs into, and then we can post comments or help him during the live stream and tell him, oh, no, do this, do that. I think he just needs to try it once and see. It's not that hard. It's not that complex, to be honest. You get a nice flow the more you do. So just keep that in mind. Your first game is probably going to go slow. It's not going to be super quick. It's going to be, you're going to run into questions about what do I do about this. 9 times out of 10, like here's one of those single question with the little mark next to it. Instead of using the single result, what you're going to do is roll on your weather chart to find out, okay, what the weather's like, and then you're going to know, like singles in St. Louis in good weather is a 7. While singles in Pittsburgh with good weather is a 12. Singles in Colorado is a 20 when it's good weather. So if you want some variations with the pitchers or with the weather and the ballparks. So we're looking forward to Saturday morning, 8:30 to 9 Central. So that's good time. It'll be about 9:30, 10 o'clock my time. If you wouldn't mind, email me ahead of time so I can remember. Or maybe even text me. I'll probably send you my email or my phone number so you can text me. So that way I can make sure I can try to get online. Although, like I said, the whole house is tore apart. I'm sure the wife isn't going to want me sitting in here watching baseball all day. But I definitely will try to come for some time, that's for sure. It's not complex. You're going to get into running some plays. Again, the first couple times you run an X, it's probably going to take you a minute. But after you do it 2 or 3 times, you go, oh, all right, I understand what I'm doing now. This isn't that hard. I can do this. Have your rule booklet ready to go in case you need it. And yeah, Seamless Pug, Saturday, 8 to 8:30, 9 o'clock Central Time, or 9:30 to 10 Eastern Time. I think you'll like it. I think you'll have a good time with it. Again, since you use the tableau style, it'll probably you won't run into issues with trying to find players' ratings and stuff like that. So that'll be good. I'm just trying to think of anything else that you might run into. Yes, these Stratomatic cards. Yeah, not my favorites, that's for sure. But trying to think of what else. I'm just looking on a card to see if there's any other result that might. You got your strikeouts, flyouts, X results we talked about. You got your little diamond results, which is if they're tired. You'll have results like this. Oh, you guys can't see. You're going to have a result, and then you're going to have a sub-result underneath that. And it's going to have this little symbol next to it. That's another one of the super advanced rules. I just always use this. So I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, what kicks this other stuff into gear. Ground ball first base X, you're going to check, again, range and errors. Catcher X, you're checking the catcher. So the one thing about the catcher X, what do they do with my... The one thing with the catcher X is a little bit different. You got the catchers and the pitchers. Now the catchers, he's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, catchers, they don't need to go very far, right? So what you get with range plays is whether or not it is a pass ball, wild pitch, can come off of this as well. So like you're going to roll on this chart. Let's say he's a 3 and he rolled a 4. That's a WG result. And a WG result, pitcher uncorks a wild pitch if there's no one on base. All runners, if there's runners on base, he uncorks a wild pitch. All runners advance 1 pitch. So your catchers, obviously their range is going to be like pop outs, wild pitches, pass balls, things like that. It's not like getting to the ball like an outfielder. Yeah, so you're just going to get out your big chart. You're going to roll your D20 and your D6s. You can roll them all at the same time. He rolled a 19. Catcher results here. Let's say it was a 2 and a 19's a G2. So it's a ground ball out in front of the plate. And then 4, 5, 6, 7 for his error rating. Let's say he's an E5. And there's no 7, so it's just a G2. Boom. Pretty simple. I mean, it's not super complex. It's not super difficult. I think you'll be fine. It's just believing in yourself. And the only way you're going to believe in yourself is once you do it a couple times. Then you're going to go, oh, I got it. I've seen it. I know what to do. I've experienced this. I know what I got a good idea what I should do. And even if you make a mistake, as long as you, if you make a mistake, you just keep going. Just keep going with the game. And at the end of the game, look at comments. And if somebody says, oh, you forgot to roll the D20 when you were checking your X results and you weren't looking for range plays or whatever. Whatever, people will help you and post comments and questions, or not comments. They'll say, "Oh yeah, I think you forgot to do this, or you didn't do this right, or that," and then you'll learn from that. Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate it, my friend. Be sure to check out PhoenixKnight, and even again, if you watch it afterwards, be sure to like his video and let him know what a good job he's doing. He's new to him, so he's a little, just wants to make sure he has a good grasp of what he's doing. I think he'll be fine. He's played a nice lot of payoff pitch. He's played several other baseball games on his channel. I think he's starting to understand more concepts, so I think he'll be fine. I think he needs to just jump right in with some of the super advanced stuff, and if he runs into problems, there'll be people there to help him, or there'll be ways to leave comments and let him know if he forgot to do something or he did something wrong. But that's the only way he's going to learn, is to do it a couple times. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Doug. Everyone, have a great night. We'll see you all.